Wonderful. Okay. So, very lovely to be with you. And celebrate this wonderful friendship. So I'm going to mute. Let's see. Okay. Voila. Okay. So if we can turn our attention inward or close our eyes or lower our gaze. And contemplate the light of being, meaning acknowledge the vibrancy of life, of presence, that is there irrespective of what thoughts may arise to you, irrespective of what is happening in the world, irrespective of what your experience is. To welcome this wonder, which appears to us this moment as this loving friendship. And let's allow ourselves to be absorbed in this peace, like a baby in his or her mother's arms is absorbed in her love and her embrace. We are here together because we recognize a love that is bigger than our person. The love of God, the love of truth. That It goes way beyond the capacity of the mind to comprehend. We are touched by that love. We are touched by that mystery, the mystery of being. Which invites us to relax in its arms, to surrender to it, to soak into it, and to recognize that in this embrace, in this loving meeting of myself, I somehow recognize all of you and everyone as myself. I recognize I as thou, and I as it, as one. I dissolve in this recognition, the non-dual recognition of our wholeness, our intimacy, and in this dissolution, in this absence, which is this presence, there are no borders and no separate beings, rather one being, one beingness. The peace of being, the wholeness of being. In this recognition, the recognition of the one love, the one being, the one heart, there is no one doing anything. There is a doer. There isn't a personal intention. Rather, the mind is blown by God's creativity, the recognition of God's infinite being, infinite creation. And all the personal concerns are absent, as I recognize and sense and feel mother's embrace and mother's arms. The mind comes to stillness, as there are no need for any activities, no need for any doing or any remembering.
Are you ready? Come on.
And I know myself as this peace. And I forget myself as this peace. I know I am without any need to remember anything, without the need to do anything. I know I am. And that I-ness, that I-ness is this peace. It's effortless, impersonal peace of being. And as that peace, I am meditation. And this I that is meditation is not a person, it's not something, it is everything. And yet it is no thing. The various states, the waking state, dream state, the deep sleep state, appear within this meditation that is meditator free. As the wind appears in the open space, like the rays of the sun shine in so many directions. Irrespective of what shape and form each state, the waking state, the dream state, the deep sleep state, irrespective of which shape and form they take, I remain as I am, effortlessly, without any personal doing or any personal feat. In this moment, you are this open, aware space, impersonal, limitless, effortless, transparent, aware, and knowing that it is aware, knowing that it is, and that it knows. It is God's love within us that we love, the universal love within us that we love. The dissolver of all ailments. Although in God's being there are no ailments. You have to leave God's truth and embrace your personal mind and your personal self in order to experience elements. And whenever you turn your attention to the source, to the reality of being, you will find the peace and the beauty, the love, the happiness. In abundance. You engage in activity in order to reach passivity. It is the passivity of being that you actively seek. And this passivity of being is lovingly active, radiant, and the radiance comes straight from the source, not from the personal mind. But once the personal mind is illumined by this radiance, then the personal mind reflects this radiance without filtering it. The main filter in the mind is the belief and feeling that I am somebody, that there is somebody that needs protection, needs advancement. A subject, a separate subject. Made out of worries and concerns, hopes, aspirations. An accumulation of memories. Various beliefs about the world, about others. Attached to various feelings. Which we keep refreshing with thoughts and activities. To maintain a thread, some sort of connection with something. Just maintaining some sense of myself, some meaning. Like this game we used to play when we were kids, putting a cube on top of a cube, and then another cube, and another on top, and one more. It's starting to wobble a little bit. We put one more, and it's wobbling a little bit more. What is it in your experience that requires no doing? That doesn't require the past or the future. That is free. Okay, so if there are any questions, uh, Holger.
Thank you. Thank you for touching me so deeply. There's really nothing more important for me right now than to just, forget myself in this emptiness.
Any questions?
Magdi, it's Esther.
Hello, Esther.
I would like to share with you and my Sangha family something. A couple of months ago, a challenge came into my life, a mental and physical challenge that has forced me to live the understanding in such a way that I never have till this point. And this challenge is really an abundance of grace that I cannot even put into words. It is so clearly that, the grace of it. And I wanted to express my gratitude to Magdi and the Sangha family for being here, a lifeline of reality, really. And it's just so amazing that to surrender to the understanding and to embrace it and to live it brings such clarity that I never dreamed was possible. And every day is a new facet of understanding and magic, really. And at this point, it doesn't matter if the challenge goes away or not, because I recognize the abundance of grace that is there. So I wanted to thank all of you and for your beauty and your presence and for your questions, your probing questions. And that's it. Thank you.
That was beautiful, Esther. Thank you.
That's what it's about. The love is so beautiful.
Yes, I just wanted to say I hope you can hear me because I'm outside walking my dog. But
I hear you.
thank you, Magdi. For all the profound meditations. This one today was wonderful. Thank you, Esther, just for everything that you bring to us. Much love to everyone.
It's beautiful. Mm. It's like this is time for a group hug or something like that.
I'm trying,
Right.
friends. I'm trying.
Well, so any question?
Hello.
Hello, Anna.
So today in the meditation, like I was noticing like melting more. And at one moment, like there was fear, and I just came out of it. And then I started thinking about what I need to do, like totally unrelated to the meditation.
You're right.
And like today was the first time that I've experienced this dissolving. Like sometimes I fall asleep, but yeah, like this was different. Would you address? You talked a little bit about the fear last time.
We see there is an irrational aspect to fear. It's a fear that is based on a belief that lacks evidence, that has no evidence, the feeling, well, first the belief that there is somebody that I need to protect, and this somebody is myself, that I need to protect. I need to protect I. That there is something out there that can affect I. Of course, we all know to various levels that there are all sorts of things that can affect the body. You can, maybe some foods that you may eat by accident that can make the body ill or uncomfortable. We all know the body has its limitations. But there is this belief that there is something that can affect I, can affect consciousness. That consciousness is, which is I, it is something. We need to protect it. We need to protect consciousness from any possible harm. And this belief that I need to protect, that I am something or somebody that needs protection. This belief is, we feel it. It's in our cells. It's in our muscles. It's in our nervous systems. It's in our energetic field. And so when situations occur in the world, and they occur every day, and situations occur in our experience that affect the body mind, this energetic sense of me that's it picks this, it translates this event, this world or body or mind event, it translates it into an event that's affecting me, I consciousness. It's affecting I, that's affecting me. Yes, there are all sorts of things that affect the body. I mean, the mind, the world, your bank account, your home, your relationships, so many things, the weather, thunder, lightning, so many things that can affect this realm of body-mind world. But is it confusion? There is a grave error. Which is that what affects the body-mind affects me, affects consciousness. Which is referred to as identity, identifying the identity of consciousness, meaning the identity of I, with events, my father, my mother, my job, my partner, my car, my health, my money, or whatever. There's a confusion, a grave mistake. Which leads us to believe that a certain healthy body, healthy mind, healthy world, healthy bank account, healthy relationship is the way. So we strive hard to have really great relationships and great, lot of money, a lot of safety, a home, whatever. We try so hard to maintain as steady, as healthy, as ironclad structure in the world, in the body and the mind, believing that that's how my well-being, this imagined threat to I is thwarted. That this threat to I, which is an imaginary threat because of this mistaken identity, is at the core of our fear. The fear is irrational because it is based on a wrong assumption, a mistaken assumption. The assumption that I is something, is that I, the consciousness, is mortal, is physical, is material, is female, is male, is wealthy, is poor. But we have the capacity to recognize I as awareness, because this capacity of recognition of awareness is inherent to awareness. It is a simple and easy recognition because it's already there. Awareness knows it is aware. It knows it is awareness. It knows its reality. It knows it is the reality. You simply have to comprehend that you are that you are this awareness that knows itself, that knows what it is. The fear is a vain attempt at vain attempt at protecting an illusion. It's a mental process. Fear is a mental process that has a feeling aspect to it. There is a quick thought, a flash of a thought what's going to happen to me? Is a thought, and simultaneously a what we call fear, which is a current within the ocean. There is a wave and a current beneath it. On the surface, it's a wave, it's a thought. What will happen to the people I love? What will happen to my world? But it's quick. It's very almost invisible. And then the current within the body and all of that, the wave and the current, they don't even register for consciousness. Meaning, the ocean doesn't have a thought about the waves or the currents. It doesn't even, it's not saying, oh, this current is too strong, it's too hot, it's too cold, it's moving in the wrong direction. It's not. And awareness, that which he hears, which perceives right now, is transparent. It's borderless. It's not something that you perceive. It is the reality that perceives. The true beingness, the true I, the true self, the reality, the life, whatever you want to call it, the true, the real, is that which is hearing these words right now. It's transparent. There's no effort. The hearing is not a female hearing or a male hearing or a hearing or a hearing taking place in a bedroom or in the living room or in the kitchen. There is no quality, no phenomenal quality to reality, to the I. And this I is complete freedom and peace and happiness and joy and is not nothing contained. It's not contained. The reality of awareness is not nothing that needs protection by some troops or by some protectors, consciousness protectors. There isn't something else that's outside of awareness, consciousness. Right now, that which you perceive or you sense, you feel, or you hear, thoughts that appear to you, it's appearing as consciousness. It's that transparency, that presence. It remains transparent and present. And yet there is hearing, there is breathing, there is an image, which are constantly changing. just in the span of a week, a day, how many thoughts, images, memories, sensations, perceptions? Imagine 20 years, which is a blink of an eye. Not too long ago, you were 15, 18. The body was not too long ago. And not too long from now, the body will be 90, 70, 80, whatever. It's a flash, in a flash. But irrespective of all of that, diverse, the changes, there's so many appearances and disappearances and changes that's occurring in the body, in the mind, the world. Presence, consciousness, I, what I is, remains undivided, indivisible, impersonal, universal, infinite, unborn, uncreated. When you look at consciousness, because you have the capacity to look at consciousness because you are consciousness. When you look at consciousness, it is consciousness looking at itself and recognizing, I have no beginning and no ending. I am the creator of all creation. I am the perceiver of all perceptions. I am the dreamer of all dreams. I appear as this perception, that perception, this perception, that perception, this thought, that feeling, that sensation, while remaining infinite and invisible, like electric current, like the grid appears in so many different light bulbs in the kitchen, in the living room, downtown, in that one grid. I remain as I am, as this transparent, aware presence, you see. And there is no fear on that level. At that level, I know the freedom of being, the joy of being, the beauty, the love, the wholeness, the totality, the joy. Yes, there are so many things that occur in the world, in the body, the mind, the life, family, the culture. But there is that which is eternal, infinite. And in the dream, we know it as love, as gratitude, as joy, as freedom, as peace, as wisdom, that's how we know it. And this is our true connection. Our true connection. It's not that, oh, I love your car and I love your grandmother's red couch. No, it's not like that. The true connection is the connection of love. And love doesn't pick and choose, oh, I love you, but you, I don't know. No, it's not like that. That's something else. That's mind. When you feel touched by somebody, you're being touched by the love. And when somebody's touched by you, they're being touched by the love. And there is an appreciation and there is a savoring of but it's everywhere. Love is is what we are, is consciousness. It's not, we don't have to hold on to. We don't have to be careful not to lose it. So we hold on to this relationship, or we hold on to our beauty, or we hold on to whatever we hold on to. Because then we are separating love as we're saying, oh, it's this thing, you know, this is this particular relationship, or this particular feeling, or the fear is not your you are its boss. It's not your boss. You are its boss. So you can say, okay, fine, okay, good. I appreciate, nice report. Thank you very much. Okay, go back to your desk now, you know. That was a lousy report, you know. Actually, go back to go. Because you are the boss, you are its boss. It's not, everything that appears to you is subordinate to you. God's power is God's power. The so-called personal power is a loan from God. You cannot, you have to repay it. You
So when you said it's imaginary, like the thought that kept coming up is, but it feels so real.
What makes a feeling real?
The intensity.
What gives a feeling an intensity?
Attention to it, maybe? Or like believing it's...
Attention is neutral.
Believing it's like important? Maybe?
Believing it's important. Yeah, I would say believing it's important, which is, you know, your choice. You can, if you believe something is important, it's like, you know, sometimes on the stage you have these lights, you know, these beams of lights. When the star appears on the stage, there is a beam of light that just focuses on the star. Everything is dark, but the star is bright. So yeah, it's a sort of focusing, but I would look in the direction of resistance. Intensity and resistance. Because when the spotlight is on the star, I'm just seeing the star. I don't feel it's intense or not intense or anything like that. It's still neutral. I mean, even when attention sort of shines particularly on a on an object. So what when we are perceiving whatever we are perceiving from a vast place of presence, the spaciousness of presence, without a past history, without a history, without the past. Because when you bring in the past, you are narrowing the attention or the presence. You're narrowing it because there are so many conditions, so many conclusions that we've reached from the past, comparisons and judgments. So you're perceiving a thought and a sensation. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the issue? I forgot. What's the issue we're talking about?
I said, like, it feels so real. And then you said, what makes it feel so real? And then you said that it could be, or you didn't say it that way, but to look at the resistance is what makes it feel so real. Like the resistance is what makes something feels intense. And then
probably start to be a little bit cleaner with your language, with yourself, okay? So when you use the word real, don't use it indiscriminately, okay? Don't use the word real onto something that doesn't apply. Real means it is real across time and space. It is what it is, whatever it is that you call real. You're going to find it now, and you're going to find it at midnight. You're going to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. You're going to find it. It's going to be the same. Not only are you going to find it, you're going to find it, and you're going to find it the same, exactly the same. Then you can say, oh, well, that's real. Because as far as I know, for the past 85,000 years, every time I've checked, it was right there. It was the same. Then I say, okay, it's real. So when you say it feels real, you're using the wrong word, real. Because a feeling, if it's real, then it's there 24/7 and 365 a year, and 10 years a decade, and 100 years a century, 1,000 years a millennium, etc. Right? So there is a feeling, and it feels what? You cannot use the word real.
there is an intensity to the feeling.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's intensity to everything. Everything has an intensity. When I turn on, when you go to your gas, you have a gas stove?
Yeah.
There is an intensity to it. There is low, medium, and high. But you can, if you turn the dial really slowly, there is a lot of intensity. It goes in lower, intensity to everything. And I can speak louder, and I can speak louder, and I can speak louder. This intensity. Okay, fine. So you said there is an intensity to a feeling. Yeah. Okay. And
yeah, like for example, in the meditation, like all of a sudden, like there was nothing, and then all of a sudden it's like the stove went on, like all the fire just lit up.
Yes, yes. And yet, was awareness diminished or increased? No. Was awareness higher and then it got lower, or was awareness the same? there was a different image on the screen. And I am sharing there was a different image on the screen. Now, if image A is better than image B, that's the choice I'm making. So I personally prefer, I'm okay with any image. Why? Because my okayness doesn't belong to the image. My okayness belongs to me. So I'm not going to lend my okayness to an image, right? I'm gonna keep my okayness with myself. I'm gonna keep it in my wallet.
Well, but it seems like image A was like going in the right direction, whereas image B was just like
Yes, you could say that. You could say that because image B struck the chord of your false identity.
what image B what?
Struck the chord of,
Okay.
your false identity.
What does that mean?
Meaning it triggered the sense of personal vulnerability. You had a moment of experience of personal vulnerability. So you experience yourself as the person, as somebody. What's going to happen to me, for example? Just putting in my own version. And so the false me, the false self, the me, Amna, the false self was struck, was triggered, was unveiled. And it doesn't like to be unveiled. The false self likes to remain in the shadow. But when it got unveiled, it struck back.
How I don't see how it was unveiled. How was it unveiled?
There was a thought. Oh my God, can I hold on to this meditation, for example? I don't know. I'm just creating. I wasn't.
Well, the thought is like, no, this is, I want to tell you specifically so you can like.
Thank you.
Well,
I was guessing, help me, yes. So what was it?
So there was like there was a dissolving.
Yes.
And then it was like, shit, like we're not fucking doing this.
We're not doing this.
It was kind of like that. It was like, we're not dissolving.
Oh,
we're not.
We're dissolving, but we don't want to dissolve, right? Or is that what you mean?
I don't know. I was starting to experience. There was like an experience of like this, like no, like no separation.
Yes.
And then it was like, yeah, it was like shit.
Right.
And then then it started going into what I'm gonna do later.
Right. So there was a dissolving, and the dissolving, the me, whatever it is, that me structure said, oh no.
Yeah.
The way it says, oh no, there is a thought. It doesn't. It's both a thought and a feeling, but it's so quick. It's like, yeah, like almost like when you get to the edge of a cliff, there is in a flash you thought, oh my God, I'm gonna die, and there is simultaneously the feeling of, oh, yes, So
Yeah.
that thought and the feeling are this
Wow.
the me that's sort of is being unveiled. It's being unveiled as what? As a hoax.
I was just noticing also, so going into like what I'm gonna do next and blah, blah, blah was kind of like a relief. It felt like a relief.
Absolutely, because in, you know, the me story, oh, that's familiar ground. That's familiar ground. Oh, I'm gonna visit my girlfriend. I'm going to, you know, I'm gonna go out to dinner. I'm gonna cook some really nice lentils, and so the drug, the me drug, which is thinking, the me thought, the thought of me, and I'm doing do this, and hopefully I will enjoy that. It's a drug for the personal self. The personal self it sucks on that. I remember I used to sit in retreats and I could see it. Oh my God, you know, I'm like sitting, don't move, you know, 40 minutes and 40 minutes, 40 minutes, start at 6 o'clock at 9 p.m. And oh yeah, I mean, so many things I did in terms of, you know, because there in the thinking about me, my this and that, and then you go into deep memories. When you run out of material, you go deep. I mean, you go to, you know, things when you're 5-year-old, something, you know, the color of the sweater that your mother bought you. I mean, you go deep, but you maintain. You're maintaining what? Story. A story about what? About the illusory me. This, because why am I saying illusory? Because in your experience, this moment, there is no illusion. In this moment, there is the reality of consciousness.
The reality of consciousness,
of awareness, of presence.
Mm.
Yes? And that's not a story.
I don't know if I know what the reality of consciousness is. Because so it's not what's appearing.
It is the fact of awareness. Yes? There is awareness, yes?
Just that I am.
Not just I am, I also know. I know that I am.
Yeah. So that's.
And I also know that right now there are sounds. I'm hearing words. Yes?
Yeah.
So it's not just I am, there is I am, and I also know. I know that I am, and I know that I perceive. Right?
Yeah.
This knowingness, check it every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes you can, if you can check it every second, you know, you will find that, okay, that's always there, right? The I, that the I am, and the I of knowingness is there across the board.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes, from your experience, right?
Yeah, because even like when I'm in deep sleep, I know.
Okay,
I know that I am.
let's just stay with our current experience. And our current experience with
Our current experience.
that the I am and that I know, whatever it is that I know that I am, and I know that I'm perceiving. Yes? That's from your direct experience. Yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
So therefore, how can you tell me, you told me I don't, what did you say? I don't know. You said something, I don't know.
You said the reality of consciousness. I just didn't know what that meant.
Well, now you do, right?
So the reality of consciousness. Okay, 1 second. Okay.
Don't worry about the words I use. You know, the reason I use the word reality, because the reality, you cannot fudge around it. You cannot sneak around it. You cannot, you know, you cannot say, well, yeah, it's more real now, let's read later. Reality is absolute. And so I use the term reality. Absolute means you will always find awareness, and you will always find awareness unchanged. And you will always find awareness wherever you are, whatever that is, whatever. Okay, whatever. It's always awareness, right? So there's no messing around. There's no fudging, right? Yes.
Yeah.
And also, you will always know, if you're interested, that awareness means I. You on board with that?
Yeah.
There is sometimes you say yeah, that is like, it's not like a straight yeah, you know, it's awareness. I am aware. What is it that is aware? I. What is it that perceives? I. What is it that knows that I am? I. Yes?
Yes.
So therefore you can find from your experience that awareness refers to I. Presence refers to I, right?
Yes.
So when I use the term reality, I'm referring to it's always there. It's absolute. It's not changed or changeable because the weather has changed or because I feel different now. It doesn't matter how you feel. That which perceives the feeling is I awareness is there. You can check it always, you can check. So I use the term, the reality of, I used the term consciousness a minute ago, but it's okay. I use the word awareness, consciousness synonymously. So is it getting clearer to you now, the reality of consciousness, the term reality of consciousness?
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes the terms, it may take a while for the terms that we use to, sometimes the terms say like, what do you mean by the reality? Or, you know, what do you mean by reality? But it's important. The language has to be clean, clear, and precise, and has to lead to the understanding. The understanding is not in the language is a tool to understanding.
I don't remember what was before that.
Look, if you don't remember, for sure I don't remember. Because it doesn't improve with age. It goes a different direction.
It was just, all I remember is like the intensity of the sensations. And then you saying something about resistance.
Yes.
And
okay.
all I remember.
The fact that the sensation is intense is okay, because not all sensations are have the same intensity. Okay. Now, if we prefer a less intense sensation, and the universe produces a more intense sensation than our preference, we are going to experience another sensation, which we may refer to as disappointment. That's how the dice, this is how the game is played.
So now I remember it was scene A of like going into the experience, like experiencing the meditation, and then scene B of like everything flaring, and then like just going on a tangent of like me,
Yes.
my story of me.
Also, you know, although it takes some time for the mind to become comfortable with the peace. I know it may sound illogical, but the mind is used to the activity, and when it is given the peace, it's sort of, it numbs the mind. It's like a little anesthetic. The mind is okay, but the anesthesia, it wears off, and then the mind wakes up. Okay, but in time, the anesthesia will take more and more of.
Or it's like losing interest in that me.
Yes, losing interest in the activity, and also it's appreciate more and more. It's sort of, it's just, okay, this is good. You know, it goes more and more into the resting, into the peace, and it takes a little time. Yeah.
Do you have any suggestions to speed that up?
Well, you are doing, you know, what seems to be the right thing to do. You are present regularly in inquiring, you're looking, you're probing. I would say that we have a tendency to trust our thoughts and our feelings much more than just trusting the peace of being. Place your trust in your reality, what you truly are. Although the mind may rebel and raise all sorts of questions, place your trust in not knowing. You don't exist in the past or in the future. It is the past that exists in the past and the future that exists in the future, but you don't exist in the past and the future. You exist as consciousness, as the eternity of being. Let the past be what it is, whatever it is, who cares? And the future, whatever it is. And Recognize that your experience is not its content. Your experience is awareness. And awareness is independent of its content. It is independent of its content. The dreamer is independent of its dreams. It dreams whatever it wants to dream. The dreams depend. The dreams are not independent of the dreamer, but the dreamer is independent of its dreams. The dreams do not define the dreamer. It is the dreamer that defines the dreams. So don't be so concerned about the dreams. Rather, recognize the dreamer, which is not a particular body-mind. It is not an object. It's not a form. It is consciousness. You know, sometimes you are in the sun and you are it may take a while for the sun to warm you up, but if you stay long enough in the sun, you will feel the warmth.
Thank you.
Don't worry, you won't get sunburned.
Oops.
Yes.
Hi, it's John.
John.
Hi. Here I am.
You have video.
You can enjoy me. Anyway, I'm laughing, and I actually want to talk about that because when you and Amna were talking, say, I would be lying to say that I'm always there's not a me popping up and what in the language it's called suffering or the future and the past and the image of me and so forth and so on. And it may be less than it used to be, but and I don't have a goal, or that reinforces me to make sure I don't have any to know I'm I and the image is an image and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is, this idea of real, I do remember a teacher once saying he struggled with Advaita or non-duality, with this idea that that in a way it almost felt like it seemed like you had to disregard the real, that you couldn't pay attention to it and so forth. Now you don't teach that, and neither does this teacher either. But but sometimes that's a sense of it for me, for a person who doesn't understand the concepts or hasn't maybe even gone through seeing this. I mean, like for instance, what's helped me as a person and also to come to realization sometimes is a lot of times what teachers point to is sort of, you could call it like the neti process, but it's the objects are here and there's consciousness there, but there's a reality in its consciousness reality, these things, these sensations, the feelings and so forth and so on. So those things are there. But what's been very helpful to me has been experience like you were doing with Amna, experiencing that things are images. Things appear and they disappear. I does not disappear. It never disappears. It just doesn't disappear. And one can see that as the only reality that there is. The rest is called the illusion, but it doesn't mean that we don't enjoy it and we don't do things like that. So there's that aspect of the non-duality that I hear you guys talk about a lot of times. It's this beauty, love, and so forth and so on. So I was thinking about that when you were sharing, you and Amna were sharing. And when Amna just started cracking up laughing, and then you laughing, and I just cracked up laughing, and because you guys were laughing, and it gets to be so, in with the language and with the ideas and the content, it can be, there can be a lot, and I, it was just a realization there that for me is always brings me back, because it's that laughing that has no past or future. It's that laughing that's not thinking. I'm not thinking about, I don't want this laugh. Where did this laugh come from? And so I think sometimes it's there's such an attachment to these things, feeling sensations, our, what people call our wealth, although I don't have that, but but our cars, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't know. I just, if consciousness is reality, and I think sometimes that gets confused a lot. And I still go through that. But anyway, I just wanted to say that, the laughing, the beauty, the love, and all that. There's always that aspect, because otherwise, for there's a lot of this. I've got to become this I. I've got to become this consciousness. With all these concepts. So anyway, it was a reminder. The laughing, you've talked about it before, and many others have too. But that it's just there. It's there. It's being without it's, I guess, right now it's being. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Yes.
Everything is all.
Yes.
Anyway, I just wanted to say that, because you really taught me. I think it was one time. I guess you're in California now, not in Virginia. But when we were in Virginia doing
Right now, I'm in Virginia right now.
Oh, okay. And I remember we were talking about something after the satsang, and I said something, and I think you asked me. You said, "John, what is effortless right now?" And ever since then, everything resonates. Different things resonate for different people, and so that still comes to me on a thought level. Sometimes when it gets confusing and the mind's going and so forth and so on. I know there's no mind, but when the thoughts are going and the pain and the suffering, there, sometimes I do ask myself the question, what is effortless right now? And instantaneously, there's a peace.
Yes.
Instantaneously. That doesn't mean it lasts, but those kinds of things are very simple. And then there's the understanding on the comprehension part that it is awareness aware of itself. There are no feelings. It is pure happiness, it's pure love, it's pure peace. So anyway, I appreciate
Thank you, John.
your satsangs. Thank you.
For sharing this. Very nice. Yes. Yes. Oh, yes, Holger, yes. The recordings, you're welcome to share them. Any questions? Okay, well, thank you all. Lovely to be with you. Richard, Esther, Amna, Frederick, nice to see you, John.
One moment, please. 1 minute.
Hello, Marga. Shiva. Holly, hi, Holly. Emmanuel. Zoe. Hello, Richard. Bernadette. Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Magdi.
Thank you. Thank you, Magdi.
Thank you,